Hello and welcome to Pokemon Pot 71. Now we're about to take on the Elite Four and beat the champion for reals this time. But first I just want to prepare my team a little. First off we go to Mr. Alton City. And I want to teach Mitchell here a very special move called Brave Bird. Now Brave Bird, it's a high damage attack, but it does give you recoil damage. But it's a good move to use as a sort of sweeping method. And that's exactly what it's used for later on. I'm just reading the description here. It attacks the opponent with a blade of air. So yeah, flying types are pretty much like the air types of the series. Now, last time I was here, I didn't pick up a TM, did I? Oh no, actually I did pick up the TM Aerial Ace here, didn't I? I'm getting confused. That was like the last part or something. Or the part before that. But anyway, with that done, we're now on to the Pokemon League. So this time round we face the Elite Four, and they have the same party they did before, except it's higher leveled, and they've each have 2 more additions to their team. Now, let's do it the same way I did before. Let's start with the fighting guy, Marshall. Here for the epic rematch, in this corner, Red, woo! Or, I guess he would be black or white. And in the other corner, Marshall, woo. Whee! I like this little train track we got going here. Now, speaking of fighting types, apparently Mewtwo does have another Mega Form. And it's like, one will be exclusive to X and one will be exclusive to Y. And the new Mega Form is of course Fighting Psychic, and it looks like it looks really mean and vicious. And I like the idea of giving Mewtwo a fighting form, because yeah, watch out Dark types. Shatter my weaknesses. Yep, like I said, Marshall now starts off with Breloom. Now Breloom is a grass fighting type, so yeah, weak to flying types. Although it does know the move Spore, which is a good status move, and it has the ability Spore. So when you attack a Breloom, there's a good chance that you could get a negative status placed upon you. So yeah, this Pokemon has lots of weaknesses, but it does have a few uses. I've seen it used in competitive battles, so down it goes. And now we battle Sork. I was looking at Marshall, and is he meant to look like someone? Like a famous fighter? Like, I don't want to say Mike Tyson, but I think he reminds me of Dennis Rodman, if anything. But anyway, I'm applying the same tactic I did before. I'm going to first send out Brooker here as a sort of buffer, or a wall, to lower Sork's attack. And then I'm going to switch to Cumberbatch, and then use Coil repeatedly to just generally power himself up. So yeah, now this now becomes a longer, drawn-out battle. Oh, and now he has the item Leftovers, if I didn't point that out before. Now, Leftovers replenishes your health just a little bit with each turn. So combine that with a Leech Seed here. He should be able to just keep recovering health. So my friend, as you get weaker, I only become stronger and stronger. And Coil is such a badass move. But of course it's only effective against physical type attackers. Now, when I was playing this strategy, I was well aware that he does have a Toxicroak, and he probably does definitely have a Poison type move. So, yeah, I sort of switch out after a while to avoid Toxicroak. But as you can see, his Conkeldurr is still his biggest threat on the team. My biggest threat. Now, of course, you might have noticed I have leveled up since in between the parts. Now my team are about level 75, which I leveled up to that point, so I'll be the same level as the champion. Try and make it an interesting fight, you know, not be too over leveled. Mind you, good design, nice to see you again. But, oh, fake out. That won't help you. But, ooh, that was a critical hit. That did quite a lot more damage than it really should have. Yeah, taste my blade. It's a blade made up of leaves. Pretty sweet. You know what makes the battle go a bit quicker if it didn't tell me every time Cumberbatch replenished health? Yeah, Toxicrog. It's a shame. I think maybe I should have left in Cumberbatch in there, because even though he's weak to poison, his defense is really high. And his attack's high, so I probably could have swept Toxicrog with Cumberbatch's return move. Speaking of which, Toxicrog is a really cool looking Pokemon. I really like that design. Its typing is a bit iffy though. And now that we're back with Conkeldurr, I'll sort of repeat the same process. So yes, the exciting battle of Pokemon. Me just spamming Coil and Leech Seed. Aren't you glad you're watching this video, audience? But speaking of which, we're just 2 parts away from the end now. And I'm sort of relieved it's over with now. I can sort of... when it comes to my next Let's Plays, I'm going to take a more... I'm going to have a less is more kind of attitude. Like, only come out with 1 part per week. But try and make sure the commentary in that 1 part is actually interesting. So yeah, quality over quantity. I am using Coil again. Again, Conkeldurr, maybe he should be a rock fighting type. Speaking of which, I did get some sort of bad news about Pokemon. Well, do you know that Pokemon I hate, Garchomp, the overpowered land shark, overdesigned piece of shit? Apparently, he's gonna get a Mega Form. Yeah, Game Freak, that Pokemon is already overpowered, he doesn't need a Mega Form as well. I will say the Mega Form's design does look better than his original design. So there's that. I guess there's some suspicion that that might be a Rock Dragon type, because he looks more rocky. But anyway, we've got if Garchomp wasn't bad enough, we have Mega Garchomp. I swear, there better be like a really uber fairy type to counteract all these dragon assholes. I mean, I know Sylveon, but you need to be an uber to compete with Garchomp. Even if you have a type advantage, you still need some really good stats. I like how he's rhythmically smacking his columns against the floor, like left, right. Anyway, down you go. Yeah, that probably took longer than it should. Yeah, because saying that is actually the longest battle we have in the Elite Four. And I haven't timed it, but that's probably lasted longer than the champion. Oh, and I just like how Marshall's pose is exactly the same as a Throw. You know, I think in an earlier part I got Sork and Throw mixed up as to who was who. But, oh well, there you go. My defense is so high. Yeah, I really should have just tried to sweep Toxicroak with Cumberbatch here. That would have been sweet. Anyway, down you go. Oh, and I didn't point it out before, but it's obvious that the new additions to their team are Pokemon taken from previous generations. So that's a nice feature. And now we move on to the Psychic type user, Caitlyn. Again, this is like something from a Disney movie. Hey, sweetie, how about I get in bed with you? Hehe. But I just thought she sleeps in her clothes a lot of the time. She must smell a bit. Now, Kaylin has 2 additions to her team. Quite powerful Pokemon, actually. Metagross, which is actually an Uber type, and Bronzong, which, even though he's not an Uber type, can be really defensive. And and of course they're both Psychic Steel, so that's good typing as well. And I think Bronzong either has Levitate or Heat Proof, so yeah. Bronzong potentially only has 1 weakness. Speaking of which, I do really like Bronzong. It's definitely one of my favourite Pokemon from Gen 4. And a Pokemon I always try and have on my team. Alright, Musharna goes down. So I guess on the bright side, with these 2 Steel types, Jack Black will have some action with his Fire Punch. Metagross, who apparently has the mind of a supercomputer, but still can only say the words Metagross. And yep, he is extremely powerful. Now I was just thinking how Ground does beat Rock and Steel, but Rock and Steel types usually have ridiculously good defense, so yeah, that's kind of balanced out anyway. Damn, you can see how powerful he is. And I'm thinking of the shiny version of this Pokemon where he's sort of grey and gold. And that looks pretty cool, actually. Well, I'm trying to remember. I think Musharna did cast Reflect, which has raised her team's defences. So maybe that's why. Surf's up, dude. Actually, that's a good point about Surf. In most generations, one of the members of the Elite Four is weak against Surf as a move. I think so, yeah, like in the previous gen there's a Fire type user, or there's a Ground type user. But in this one, they haven't really took that into account. Which is why I'm sort of reluctant about the choice of the Elite Four here as types, because they tend to have the same weaknesses. Let me see. They're all 2 of them are weak to Dark types. No. Yeah, it's Bug type moves, Dark type moves, and it's Fighting type moves. So those 3. Yeah, so actually get a Bug type in your team, a Dark type, and a Psychic type, and you've pretty much have these guys on the run. Rock Slide. Again, it has slightly lower accuracy, but it's really effective. And there is a Pokemon that's really powerful with the champion that has a 4 times weakness to Rock. So yeah, Rock Slide becomes ridiculously useful at that point. Gothitelle here. Frisk. Now, when it comes to the move Frisk, does it identify what item your opponent has? Or does it let Gothitelle use that item? Poor Tim Curry. You can tell that Liepard doesn't have too good stats. Because even though that move was super effective, it didn't do that much damage. And also keep in mind that Tim Curry is slightly over leveled than Gothitelle. Yeah, which I guess why you have to rely on the critical hit strategy. Bronzong. Yeah, in fact, this sort of the Tim Curry Liepard type Pokemon reminds me of the Thief class in RPGs in general. They usually do less damage than your traditional warriors, but there's always this chance they could get a critical hit. Oh, and down he goes. Yeah, see, since fire was super effective, I guess that Pokemon had Levitate as an ability, so he would have been immune to ground type attacks. And there you go, join me in the next part where I'll be doing the other two.